Hi. I wanted to speak a little bit today about veiling or share my journey. I've been on a journey experiment for nearly a year now as a Southern American in a veil. What has it been like? What does it do? All that. First off, I will say that I had never noticed. I'd seen it, but that all the images of, or most all of them, that I've seen of Mary, the mother of Jesus, she's in a veil. And in fact, many early Christians, or particularly depictions of them, they are veiled, they have their heads covered. There are tribes in Africa that veil. There are Jewish groups, some that veil, most notably the Hasidic Jews, and they will do it with a wig, but they're still covering their hair. I have beautiful brothers and sisters that practice Vedic tradition, and when they are in their practice, in their meditations, they will veil to go inward. There are also, for similar reasons, there are groups that will lock their hair, and there are similar intentions behind that. So, we know it mostly from people in the Middle East with Islam, with Sufism, things like that. But what has been my journey with this? What have I noticed? I would say, first off, that it does something to keep you a lot more inward and still during the day, if that is your intention. Has been mine. I find that, because I've tried it on and off, and I find that I'm less pulled with outside noise, with outside chatter, outside emotions. If I'm out in a public place, it's a lot easier to practice either inner silence, or if you have a mantra, a prayer, or something like that you're repeating. There's something that holds you in. I also find that something about just setting this intention, this physical thing, pulls me as a woman away from the constant look that happens in the West from other women of comparing and this and this and this. There's a difference. And I have since realized that this is why a lot of teenage boys, girls, whoever, you walk around, you'll see them in their hoodies and a headphone. What are they doing? Really, they're veiling. Really. It is a way to tend yourself. And there are some groups that will just wear a hat. Some will cover the neck as well. And in Chinese tradition and Chinese medicine, it is said that all sickness enters the body through this point right here in the back of the neck. So it is also a way, if you choose to tend yourself and to protect yourself from illness. I highly recommend a scarf if there's a lot going around. So I noticed that, and I've also noticed in my time of prayer, meditation, if I cover my head, it really keeps it in. It really focuses me, and it does something to contain what is the light that is being grown, that is being charged up and built inside of me. And it's not the same. There is a difference when it's not there. In Sufism, is it required? In Islam, is it required? There's much debate about this. A famous mystic, Ibn Arabi, says that it was not a command from God, but that it was brought down through one who is near God, and that God has honored it. And it is said that when you veil, you do it for God alone. And in that, there are mysteries and secrets as to what it does. So there's that for anyone who's interested in that side of it, in But the other thing practically that has been a really, really educational journey for me as a white woman is they say that when a woman veils, she darkens her skin. And to face people being triggered by you, to face people rejecting you, there's been a lot of rejection this year because of it. In public places, in airports, in all sorts of stuff, you feel it. I've been I didn't notice the white privilege that I have just because of a skin color. And is that fair? No, but I see that it exists. I've had experiences being at the post office where I was treated so rudely, and I understood it was because of the veil. And of course, I cannot say anything because I too was highly triggered by a veil if I saw it on someone else. And in my community where we live, I'd only seen people in these black veils, and they scared me historically. I've since seen, and I've tried not to wear a black one because I don't want to appear offensive to people here, but we have grown up being taught that these are terrorists. And is that so? Always is that so? Is every person in every faith always good? Is every person in every faith always bad? So it reminds me as well to not look so much at the garments. The garments are really cool. I love to appreciate culture and the different ways that people adorn themselves or mark themselves as belonging to this or that, or that they practice what it is that they practice. But I also, you learn to look at the light in the heart. You learn to look beyond the form. You learn to look at the light in the eyes of someone, and you learn to see their soul. And that is beautiful. It's been a beautiful journey as well. I've met some people this year that you could tell were immediately very triggered, and then they relaxed, and then they opened, and we had a beautiful conversation. And so, yes, if it can just be to stand in a place in between East and West, to stand in a place in between two groups that have historically hated each other, that I can look one way from my skin color, that I can look another way from what is on my head, and that I can just be love and peace, that feels good to me. So I just thought I would share, and I wish you all a beautiful day.